In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. يا أهلا بكم. In this video, we're gonna talk about pronouns. في الفيديو ده احنا هنتكلم عن ال pronouns. As we all know that we have different types of words in the English language. زي ما احنا عارفين ان في عندنا كذا نوع من انواع الكلمات في اللغة الانجليزية. And in this video we're gonna focus on pronouns. In Arabic we call it الضمائر, pronouns. Okay. So the first thing is to ask the question, a simple question: what's a pronoun? ايه هو البروناون? And the simple answer that a pronoun, it is a word that replaces the noun in order to make the sentence less repetitive. يبقى البروناون ده نوع من انواع كلمات اللغة الانجليزية اللي احنا عارفين ان هم 6. والبروناون احنا بنستخدمه علشان يحل محل الناون، بالتالي ما نبقاش محتاجين ان احنا نكرر البروناون او سوري ان احنا ما نبقاش محتاجين ان احنا نكرر الناون اكتر من مرة جوه السنتنس. ازاي ده ممكن يحصل؟ Let's have an example. For example, if I can say Muna told Ahmed that Muna ate Ahmed's chocolate bar because the chocolate bar looked tasty. So we can see that we have Muna told Ahmed, so these are nouns, Muna and Ahmed. That's Muna, so we repeated the noun Muna here. Ate Ahmed, so we repeated Ahmed again. Ahmed chocolate bar, because that chocolate bar, so we repeated the chocolate bar again. Okay, so imagine that the language is like this. So without pronouns in English language, we will be repeating nouns. من غير البروناونز في الانجليزي هنبقى مضطرين ان احنا نعيد الناونز كذا مرة في الجملة لو حبينا ان احنا نوسع الفكرة بتاعتنا في الجملة او ان احنا to give more details او ان احنا ندي تفاصيل زيادة. لذلك استخدام البروناونز بيحمينا وبيخلي اللغة احسن في ان احنا ما بنبقاش مضطرين ان احنا نعيد الناونز. فعشان كده ممكن السنس دي تبقى احسن بكتير لغويا لو انا استخدمت البروناونز وقلت مع استخدام البروناونز بقى هيبقى عندي منى told أحمد that she ate his chocolate bar because it looked tasty. تمام كده شايفنا ان احنا استخدمنا البروناون she عشان يحل محل منى، واستخدمنا البروناون his عشان يحل محل احمد، واستخدمنا البروناون it عشان يحل محل chocolate bar. اوكي، وهنا بيجي المدخل بتاعنا لفكرة استخدام البروناونز وقد ايه البروناونز مهمة بالنسبة لنا في اللغة الإنجليزية. So that's how we can think about pronouns and how important pronouns for us in the English language. In that sense, we have to know everything about the different types of pronouns. وعلشان كده احنا لازم نعرف كل حاجة عن أنواع البروناونز المختلفة. تعالوا مع بعض نبص على أنواع البروناونز المختلفة. First of all, we're gonna sort the pronouns out, and we will have about 7 groups. We have first personal pronouns. Personal pronouns. We have possessive pronouns. Personal pronouns in Arabic اللي هي الضمائر الشخصية. Possessive pronouns اللي هي ضمائر الملكية. تمام، بنستخدمها في حالة امتلاك، هنشوفها بالتفصيل كمان شوية. Demonstrative pronouns. اللي احنا بنقول عليها في العربي ضمائر الإشارة. في عندنا كمان Indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns الضمائر الغير محددة. تمام، هنتعرف عليها ونعرف ازاي الضمائر الغير محددة بتختلف عن بقية الضمائر. How indefinite pronouns أو how different indefinite pronouns are from other types of pronouns. Okay. في عندنا كمان نوع من البروناونز مشهور جدا وبنستخدمه كتير اللي هما relative pronouns اللي هي ضمائر الوصل باللغة العربية. تمام، في عندنا كمان نوع مشهور برضو، تمام، استخدامه يمكن أقل من بقية أنواع البروناونز، بس بنستخدمه برضو native speakers or native English language speakers بيستخدموه اللي هو reflexive pronouns. reflexive pronouns اللي هي ضمائر ممكن ضمائر الانعكاس أو جاية من reflection اللي هو الانعكاس. reflexive pronouns اللي هي الضمائر اللي احنا بنستخدمها أو الضمائر المنعكسة أيا كانت الترجمة العربية، فاحنا كمان هناخد فكرة عنها. تمام، واحنا بنستخدمهم كتير زي himself و herself وكده، دي اسمها reflexive pronouns. في عندي برضو نوع من الضمائر احنا عارفينه بس مش عارفين المسمى بتاعه اللي هو reciprocal pronouns. reciprocal pronouns. reciprocal دي يعني اللي هو عارفين لما يكون عندي مثلا A it's A مثلا، لو تخيلت A 1 over A في الماثematics A ده it's مثلا it's a simple 1 over A it's the reciprocal of A. So in the language we don't have such a thing like mathematics، بس احنا هنشوف يعني ايه فكرة reciprocal pronouns. تمام، وهنشوف ان هم مشهورين احنا عارفينهم. okay. زي one another و each other هنشوفهم ايه بالتفصيل، وهم يعني ما فهمش تفاصيل كتير، بس احنا هناخدهم برضو ايه بالتفصيل. اوكي، يلا بينا مع بعض نروح للpersonal pronouns والpossessive pronouns. personal pronouns and possessive pronouns. تعالوا ناخدهم الاتنين مع بعض. personal pronouns و possessive pronouns. خلي بالكوا احنا بننطق possessive، بننطق دي زد وبعدين دي ننطق possess. احنا بننطق الفيرب اصلا جايه possess يعني يمتلك، فبننطق الدبل اس الاولانيين بننطقها زد، والاس دبل اس التانيين بننطقهم اس. اوكي، possess والادجكتيف possessive pronouns. طبعا البيرسونال pronouns هنبدأ مثلا عندنا I، ده اللي هو أنا اللي بتكلم. I طبعا زي ما كلنا عارفين، طبعا لو مفعول به أنت تبقى I، لو أنا مفعول به أنا I، أنت تبقى you، هو أو هي، تمام، أو اللي هو non people يبقى he she it. اوكي، طيب لو احنا تبقى we. اوكي، طيب لو انتم برضو you، لو هما تبقى they. اوكي، البيرسونال بروناون دول لما يكون انا الفاعل، دول لما يكون كل دول لما يكون الفاعل، ده كله لما يكون الفاعل اللي هو the performer of the action، اللي بيفعل الفعل subject. عشان كده ساعات بنسميهم، بنقول على المجموعة دي بنقول هم دول personal pronouns في السبجكتيف form أو في صيغة الفعل. لكن في البيرسونال pronouns طبعا في الobjective form أو في صيغة المفعول. فI لو أنا مفعول يعني I love someone loves me، أو I love someone. so I بتتحول ل me لما تبقى مفعول. you بتفضل هي you. he و she و it بتبقى him و her. it بتفضل it برضو في المفعول، تمام. we بتبقى us. you في انتم بتفضل you، و they بتفضل them. تمام، معظمنا طبعا عارفين الكلام ده. نيجي لل possessive pronouns. ف I me في ال possessive pronoun لو عايز اقول عربيتي تبقى my car، يبقى my هنا يبقى I أو me اتحولت ل my car. هنا ال possessive pronoun بقى my car، تمام. my car أنا ممكن بنلاقي native speakers يعبروا عنها بفورم اللي هو mine. فبنلاقي native speakers أو native English speakers لما تسأله whose car is this ممكن يقولك it's my car، بس الأميل إن هو يقولك it's mine عشان ما يعيدش تاني السؤال. يعني هو في السؤال in the question he or she says or asks whose car is this عربية مين دي، فالإجابة يقولك it's mine عشان ما يرجعش تاني ما يعيدش car اللي اتقالت في السؤال فيقولك it's mine. فماي car ممكن أختصرها ب mine، وبالتالي ممكن أقول بقى your car اللي احنا ممكن نختصرها ونقول ايه yours. مثلا هيبقى his car او her car او its car هتبقى كلهم ممكن نختصرهم ونقول ايه his car تبقى his. whose car is this it's his، تمام. او ممكن نقول hers او ممكن نقول its تمام. طيب us بتبقى او we و us تبقى our car، اللي احنا ممكن نختصرها تبقى ours. your car، yours. they و them اللي هما ال personal pronouns اللي قابلهم في ال possessive pronoun ان هو their car، اللي هي their car على بعضها تبقى theirs. فبسأل السؤال whose car is this، فالرد يقولك ايه؟ it's theirs. it's theirs يعني بتاعتهم. it's theirs بتاعتهم theirs. المجموعة دي بنقول عليهم ال possessive pronouns. دول possessive pronouns اللي هو my و your، his و her و its، our و your و their. دول possessive pronouns. possessive pronouns. لما بنيجي في الشكل اللي فيه اختصار اللي هو my car، mine، your car، yours، his أو her أو its car، يبقى his، hers، its. our car، ours، your car، yours، their car، theirs. بنقول على ال possessive pronouns في الحالة دي بنقول عليهم ايه؟ بنقول عليهم absolute possessive pronouns. absolute possessive pronouns. تمام. فعشان ليه بنقول absolute؟ لان اللي مثلا عندي mine فهي عبارة كانت في الاصل عن my و my which is the possessive pronoun و the possessed thing اللي هو الشيء المملوك. تمام. فده عشان كده ال possessive pronouns بتاخد شكلين، شكل اللي هو my في my car، ولما اختصرها او اجمعهم الاتنين مع بعض يبقى mine. تمام. ودي بنستخدم mine اكتر في السؤال، يعني في الرد على الاسئله اللي هي مثلا زي whose car is this، عربيه مين دي. فبدل ما نلاقي النيتيف سبيكرز يقولوا it's my car، فممكن يستخدموا بدل ما يقول my car فيقول بدلها ايه؟ it's mine. بس لما بيستخدم mine بيبقى لازم تمت الاشاره ايه؟ للشيء المملوك ده اصلا في سابق الحديث او في السؤال اللي قبليه. اوكي. فاحنا ممكن استخدم my car، ممكن استخدم mine حسب ما الكونتكست بيقول لنا. اوكي. ده كده ريفيو سريع على ال personal pronouns وال possessive pronouns. تعالوا نتكلم على demonstrative pronouns. demonstrative pronouns اللي هي بنقول عليها بالعربي بنقول عليها ضمائر الإشارة، يعني الضمائر اللي احنا بنستخدمها عشان نشير إلى الأشخاص أو نشير إلى الأشياء أو نشير إلى المواقف بشكل عام. تمام. الضمائر اللي هي في اللغة العربية هذا وهذه، احنا عندنا في اللغة العربية ضمائر الإشارة برضو اللي هو هذا وهذه وهؤلاء مجموعة الضمائر بتاعت اللي احنا بنستخدمها في الإشارة إلى شيء. في اللغة الإنجليزية ما عنديش اللي احنا 4 ضمائر إشارة. تمام. لو حبينا نصنفهم هنلاقي ان ضمائر الإشارة دي ممكن نستخدمهم في حالة السنجلر، لو انا بشير لحاجة سنجلر، حاجة مفردة مش جمع. ففي حالة السنجلر singular nouns مثلا بشير الى حاجة مفردة، فلو الحاجة دي قريبة في المكان او قريبة في الزمان فبنقول this. لو بعيدة في الزمان او في المكان بقول that. يعني لما اقول this table يبقى دي قريبة مني. تمام. اما بقول this day يبقى ده النهاردة. لكن لما اقول that table يبقى دي بعيدة عني. لما بقول that day يبقى اليوم ده بعيد عني، يعني اما يكون that day في المستقبل، بعيد عني في المستقبل، او that day في الماضي. اوكي. لما بشير لحاجات جمع plural كلنا عارفين ان this بتتقلب ليه تبقى these وبننطقها these. الاس هنا بننطق ايه؟ that. these. تمام. اقول these tables يبقى دول ايه؟ tables قريبين مني. اقول these days يبقى الايام اللي احنا عايشين فيها these days. لكن لو بأشير إلى حاجة بعيدة في حاجات بعيدة سواء في المكان أو في الزمان، فبختار أقول those، والأس هنا بتنطق زد. those يبقى دي حاجات بعيدة عني سواء في المكان أو في الزمان، فأقول those tables، يبقى هم إيه؟ بعاد عني في المكان. ولو قلت those days يبقى أيام بعيدة عن الأيام اللي احنا فيها في الحاضر دلوقتي، يبقى ممكن تبقى those days في المستقبل، بعيدة عني في المستقبل، أو those days بعيدة عني في الماضي. أوكي، دول بنقول عليهم الإيه؟ الdemonstrative pronouns. تمام، يبقى هم 4 بس، اللي هو this و that these and those، دول ال4 دول. تمام، هو generally في حقيقة الأمر قبل يعني this و that these and those دول بنقول عليهم كلهم على بعض ليهم اسم يجمعهم اسمه demonstrative، بنقول عليهم demonstratives. ليه احنا بنجمعهم؟ هم او اصلا قبل هم ليهم تصنيف قبل ما نبص عليهم كdemonstrative pronouns. هم ليهم تصنيف. الdemonstrative يا اما نلاقيهم ان هم نستخدمهم على هيئة pronouns، على هيئة ضمائر، عشان كده بنقول عليهم ايه؟ demonstrative pronouns. اوكي، اللي احنا هناخدهم دلوقتي. وساعات نستخدمهم كdeterminers، وساعات نلاقي النيتيف سبيكرز يستخدموهم as determiners يعني محددات، جاية من الفيرب determine يعني يحدد، محددات. الdeterminers دول عبارة عن adjectives وصفهم في اللغة، تصنيفهم في اللغة هم عبارة عن adjectives. عشان يتوضح لك الفرق ما بين الاتنين، أو في الفرق ما بين استخدام demonstratives as pronouns, what we call demonstrative pronouns، و as determiners اللي هم adjectives. Let's study the following examples. مثلا لو أنا قلت لك هنا هو that is good، فين الفيرب بتاعي؟ اللي هو is. فين السبجكت بتاعي؟ هو that. هل that هنا بتشير إلى اسم؟ لا، هي that هي لوحدها كده، هو that is the subject of this sentence. okay, and the verb, its verb is. okay, لكن لو قلت لك مثلا she likes، لو لقينا native speaker بيقول لنا she likes that chair. لاحظنا الفرق هنا في استخدام that. فين الفيرب بتاعي؟ هو likes. فين السبجكت؟ هو she. هنا هو that، هنا هو وظيفتها ايه؟ هو انا قلت she likes that؟ لا، انا قلت she likes that chair. that هنا actually هي بتوصف chair، يبقى انا استخدمت demonstrative that عشان اوصف chair. هو مش اي chair، هو لو سألني which chair او لك that chair، يبقى هنا that كأنها جاوبتني على السؤال اللي هو which chair، that chair. يبقى انا كده وكأن that هي صفة ايه للchair. مثلا بقول look at this. يبقى هنا هو الdemonstrative بتاعي اللي هو this functions هنا في الحالة دي functions as a pronoun، demonstrative pronoun، لأن هو مش جاي عشان يوصف اسم، لا ده هو لوحده كده. هو look at this this is. هنا this في الحالة دي بتبقى demonstrative pronoun. لكن لو قلت مثلا look at this chair، هنا this وصفت الchair، لأن هي at least هي جاوبت this، إن هو جاوبت على أنه سؤال which chair. The answer is this chair. Look at this chair. This. Okay, this هنا adjective chair. تمام. It determines، عشان كده بنسميهم determiners في الحالة دي، because it determines which chair. فاهمين ازاي؟ طيب ممكن اقول مثلا لو حبيت ادي امثله على these and those، اقول لك مثلا can you give me one of those. انا مثلا في حاجات كتيرة، مثلا في tables او في chairs كتيرة بعيدة شوية عني، فانا بقول لك وانا قاعد بعيد عنهم، فبقول لك لو سمحت can you give me one of those can you give me one of those can you give me one of those. بس ما قلتش those chairs، ما قلتش those chairs. اوكي، لو كنت قلت those chairs كان هنا those ما بقتش pronoun، كانت بقت determiner. تمام، لكن انا قلت لك can you give me one of those، تبقى هنا those هنا عبارة عن ايه؟ demonstrative pronoun. لكن لو قلت لك can you give me one of those chairs، لو قلت نفس الجملة بس قلت في الآخر those chairs، في اللحظة دي those هتبقى عبارة عن adjective ل chairs، لأن أنا حددت أنه chairs بقى، لأن إيه هنا those حددت أنه chairs، مش أي chairs، those chairs. مثلا لو قلت برضو نفس الحكاية، لو قلت مثلا can I have one of these can I have one of these can I have one of these can I have one of these. يبقى هنا these هنا هو ما تحددتش، هنا ما جاتش توصف noun، دي هي جات لوحدها كده، هو كيان لوحده. يبقى هنا demonstrative جاء as pronoun، عشان كده بنقول عليه demonstrative pronoun. لكن لو انا مثلا في example قلت لك ايه these tables are good. these tables are good. هنا فين الفاعل بتاعي؟ are. مين السبجكت هنا بتاع are؟ هو tables. اوكي، طب these tables what about these tables؟ these هنا بتوصف tables، يبقى هنا demonstrative these استخدمته as a determiner، in other words as an adjective to the noun tables. Okay, that's great. الفوكس بتاعنا today بما ان احنا بنتكلم عن demonstrative pronouns، يبقى احنا بنتكلم على الاستخدامات دي، هنتكلم في الفيديو النهارده عن استخدام demonstrative pronouns او استخدام demonstratives as pronouns، اللي هو بين قوسين demonstrative pronouns. احنا هنتكلم على الاستخدامات this و that و these و those as demonstrative pronouns. ممكن نتكلم على استخدام demonstrative as determiners. تمام، في لما هنتكلم على في ده نتكلم عليه في تبع الادجكتيفز او في الفيديو اللي خاص بالادجكتيفز. اوكي، فنقدر نتكلم على استخدام الديمونستراتيفز as determiners في الفيديو بتاع الادجكتيفز، لان هم استخدامهم في الحاله دي بيبقى يتبع ايه الادجكتيفز، او نقدر ندرس دوا في فيديو خاص باستخدامات الادجكتيفز. اوكي تمام، لان الادجكتيفز برضو هنبص لو رحنا للادجكتيفز هنلاقيها انواع من انواع الادجكتيفز دي اللي هي الديترمينرز، وهنخش جوه الديترمينرز هنلاقي الديترمينرز كذا نوع، منها الديمونستراتيفز، استخدام this و that و these و those as adjectives ل other nouns زي ما شفنا مع استخدامهم هنا هو في الامثله اللي احنا اخدناها من شويه. يبقى كده demonstrative pronouns هم 4: this, that, these and those. طبعا النيتيف سبيكرز او النيتيف انجلش لانجويج سبيكرز بيستخدموا الديمونستراتيف pronouns في situations كتير جدا، في مثلا everyday English. مثلا بنلاقي مثلا واحد بيسأل التاني فبيقول له is that your daughter over there؟ فهنا هو that هنا هو refers to a person اللي هو your daughter. مثلا حابب اقدم مثلا صحابي الاتنين مثلا محمود وحسن لزميلة مثلا اسمها رشا، فبقول لها رشا these are my friends محمود and حسن. رشا these are my friends محمود and حسن. These هنا هو that's a demonstrative pronoun that refers to my friends محمود and حسن. مثلا في تليفون، فأنا بتصل بالتليفون، فالمفروض إن أنا متوقع على، بس مش متأكد يعني، اللي أنا بكلمه هو صديقي مثلا إسلام بلال، فأنا بتصل فبقول له hello hello is that Islam is that Islam. هنا that هنا refers to Islam which is a person. This is Ahmed here. This is Ahmed here. اللي بيكلمك أحمد. This هنا refers to Ahmed a person. شايفين ازاي؟ Hello is that Islam. اللي معايا إسلام على التليفون يعني. This is Ahmed here. ده اللي بيكلمك. This هنا هو اللي بيكلمك، لكن that اللي أنا بكلمه. Is that Islam. اللي معايا إسلام. تمام. This is Ahmed here. اوكي. يبقى في الحالات اللي احنا شفناها اللي فاتت دي، هنا هو النيتيف English language speakers بيستخدموا demonstrative pronouns to refer to people. اوكي. لكن ممكن احنا يبقى to refer to people. ممكن نستخدم برضو demonstrative pronouns to refer to things. زي مثلا انا بتكلم مثلا على الراديو، او بشاور يعني على الراديو، فبقول عايز اقول لحد ان هو ممكن تشغل الراديو علشان لو انت حابب تسمع لميوزك، فبقول له can you turn that on if you want to listen to music. Can you turn that on? Can you turn that on if you want to listen to music? Can you turn that on if you want to listen to music? يبقى أنا بقول له إيه؟ that هنا هو أنا بشاور له على الراديو، تمام؟ فأنا بقول له can you turn that on if you want to listen to music. that هنا هو هتشير إلى إيه؟ الراديو. هنا هو تشير إلى شيء. أوكي. ممكن مثلا أنا عندي تي شيرتس مثلا بعيدة عني كده هو، فأنا مش متأكد مثلا هم لونهم مثلا أحمر أو أصفر، فأنا بسأل حد جنبي فبقول له what color are those? What color are those? What color are those? Are they? وانا بشاور على ايه؟ وانا بشاور على تي شيرتس فبقول له what color are those? Are they red or yellow? I can't see. انا مش واخد بالي، يعني انا ايه؟ مش قادر اشوف كويس. هنا هنلاحظ ان النيتيف سبيكر استخدم those علشان يشير الى ايه؟ الحاجه اللي بيشاور عليها، ولتكن مثلا تي شيرتس بعيده عنه. يبقى من هنا من التو اكزامبلز دول شفنا ازاي ممكن النيتيف سبيكرز يستخدموا demonstrative pronouns to refer to things. اما عندنا في الاكاديميك انجلش، مهم قوي ان احنا نعرف استخدام او اهمية استخدام demonstrative pronouns في الاكاديميك انجلش. تعالوا مع بعض نشوف. من اشهر استخدامات demonstrative pronouns في الاكاديميك انجلش هو استخدام that and those. بنستخدمهم في الاكاديميك انجلش بشكل يعني مهم جدا. مثلا لو انا مثلا بقول او في معنى في ذهني بيقول مثلا the best lesson in the lecture is the lesson in the end. لاحظتوا هنا ادي الجملة بتاعتي، فبقول فيها the best lesson in the lecture is the lesson in the end. فأنا عندي هنا lesson بيتكرر اهو، lesson بيتكرر. تمام. هل أنا ممكن أستخدم Demonstrative Pronoun عشان أمنع تكرار lesson؟ لو قلت لك استخدم هنا استخدم Demonstrative Pronoun مثلا that ولا those، فطبعا هستخدم that علشان مفرد. اوكي، بس هستخدمها ازاي؟ اوكي، يبقى هقول the best lesson in the lecture is that in the end. يبقى مع استخدام that تمام وقفت الريبيتيشن بتاع the lesson، فما اضطريتش اقول ايه the lesson. هتلاحظوا هنا that بمعنى ممكن استخدم بدلها the one is the one. يعني كنت ممكن اقول the best lesson in the lecture is the one in the end is the one in the end. لكن هنلاقي في الأكاديميك English بيفضل استخدام that. The use of that is more academic than the use of the one. أحسن إن أنا أستخدم that بدل the one. that بنستخدمها أحسن more academic، أو بنستخدمها بشكل أفضل لما بنبقى في الأكاديميك English بنستخدم that أحسن من the one. The one is less academic than that. اوكي، فالافضل ان احنا نستخدم that. اوكي، ولو قلنا بقى the best lessons بقى، لو جبنا مثلا لو حبينا نستخدم those، فمثلا لو انا بقول the يبقى لو مجموعة lessons يبقى the best lessons in the lecture are those, or the best lesson in the course مثلا عشان أوقع. The best lessons in the course are those in the end. كان ممكن أقول the ones، بس زي ما اتفقنا which is more academic those، which is more academic those or the ones. لا، more academic ان انا استخدم more academic ان انا استخدم those، استخدم those بدل ما استخدم the ones. ممكن مثلا انا بتكلم مثلا عندي two compounds، فعايز اقول والله ان الكومباوند الاولاني الشكل بتاعه شبه الشكل بتاع الكومباوند التاني. Okay, this is the idea in my head. Okay, how to use English to express this idea. ممكن ان انا اقول the first compound has a similar shape to the shape of the second compound. This is one expression. بس هل ده فيه repetition ولا ما فيهوش repetition؟ yes فيه repetition، لان انا عندي shape هنا هو اهي بتتكرر عندي. هل ممكن استخدم the one؟ yes، ممكن اقول the first compound has a similar shape to the one of the second compound. ممكن برضو أقول the first compound has a similar shape to the second compounds، واستخدم الapostrophe s علشان هنا هو كان أقصد the second compounds shape. تمام. بس هل ده the best way we use؟ is this the best way to express this idea؟ لا، أنا هل ممكن أستخدم demonstrative pronoun في الحالة دي ويبقى الاستخدام بتاعي أو التعبير بتاعي أفضل؟ Yes, we can say بدل ما أقول ال 3 sentences دول ممكن أقول، يبقى بدل ما أقول ال 3 sentences دول ممكن أقول أستخدم that وأقول the first compound has a similar shape to that of the second compound. It's better expression when it comes to academic English. The first compound has a similar shape to that of the second compound. Okay. طبعا ولو في عندي في مثلا في مثلا لو بقول the first، لو بستخدم بقى هستخدم those، يبقى مثلا في حالة الجمع مثلا لو بقول the first، لو أنا في دماغي الidea مثلا that the first compound has similar properties to the properties of the second compound. فأقدر إن أنا هنا هو بدل ما أقول the first compound has similar properties to the properties of the second compound، بدل ما أعيد properties، طبعا في ناس حد يقول لي مثلا لا هقول the ones of بدل ما أقول to the properties of the second compound، ممكن أشيل properties وأقول the ones of، يبقى the first compound has similar properties to the ones of the second compound which is okay. ممكن أقول the first compound has similar properties to the second compounds واستخدم الapostrophe s. اوكي ماشي، زي المثال اللي فات او زي الامثله اللي فاتت. اوكي but the best way ان انا استخدم في الاكاديميك انجلش ان انا استخدم demonstrative pronoun and say the first compound has similar properties to those of، استخدمت those of the second compound. يبقى دي من الاستخدامات المشهورة والاستخدامات المهمة جدا بالنسبة ل demonstrative pronouns that and those في الacademic English. نيجي دلوقتي نتكلم على مجموعة تانية من البروناونز اللي هم indefinite pronouns. indefinite معناها ان هي غير محددة. indefinite يعني غير محددة. يعني ايه غير محددة؟ يعني غير محدد الناون اللي هم they refer to. اوكي تمام، وده اللي احنا هنشوفه في الاكزامبلز بتاعتنا. تمام، بداية احنا عايزين نقسم indefinite pronouns عشان هم مثلا عددهم كتير شوية، فاحنا عايزين نقسمهم علشان نقدر ندرسهم بشكل احسن. فنحب ان احنا
نقسمهم to categorize. Now we're gonna categorize indefinite pronouns into 3 groups. تمام. الجروب الأولانية اللي هي الجروب، ناخد جروب نمبر 1. جروب نمبر 1 هنلاحظ فيها مثلا البروناونز اللي بتنتهي ب 1 زي ايه؟ every one. اوكي. someone. no one. خلي بالك no one two words لكن everyone someone. اوكي. someone كلمة واحدة، no one كلمتين. anyone دي كلمة واحدة تاني. اوكي. فهنلاحظ everyone كلهم بينتهوا ب1 دول. اوكي. كلهم بينتهوا ب1. تمام. وكلهم كلمة واحدة ما عدا no one دول كلمتين. no one كلمتين. اوكي. لكن الباقيين كلمة واحدة. اوكي. هنلاحظ في جروب 1 برضو pronouns اللي بينتهوا ب مثلا think. فنقول ايه؟ everything بينتهي ب think. تمام. something حلو جدا something. nothing. anything. هنلاحظ ان هما كلهم بينتهوا بايه؟ بينتهوا ب think. تمام. في عندنا مثلا هنلاحظ ان احنا ممكن ننهي ب body. فنقول everybody بدل one وبدل thing نقول body. فنقول ايه؟ everybody تنتهي ب body. كلمة هنا تنتهي ب body. somebody. nobody. anybody. اوكي. فهنلاحظ ان هم ايه؟ بينتهوا ب body. body. اوكي. طيب ممكن ايه تاني عندي؟ برضو عندنا اللي هي where. مثلا نقول everywhere تنتهي ب where. somewhere تنتهي ب where. nowhere. anywhere تنتهي ايه؟ تنتهي ب where. مثلا في عندنا بعض بقى الحاجات. يعني احنا كده خدنا تقريبا وكأننا اخدنا families. تمام. الفاميلي يعني جوه الجروب نمبر 1 دي among the members of group number 1 we're gonna have some families. the one family اللي هي everyone, someone, no one, anyone. body family everybody, somebody, nobody, anybody. Okay. thing family the thing family اللي هي everything, something, no, nothing, anything. the where family everywhere, somewhere, nowhere, anywhere. اوكي. في بقى مجموعة كده يعني جوه في افراد members في جروب نمبر 1 مش مقيدة بالشكل اللي فات ده. زي مثلا عندي either and neither ده indefinite pronoun either. وعندي neither ساعات بننطقها either and neither. either and neither most commonly used this pronunciation اللي هو either and neither most commonly used in the United States. لكن either and neither most commonly used في the UK. okay. في عندي مثلا indefinite pronoun اللي هو less ممكن يبقى indefinite pronoun. little ممكن تيجي indefinite pronoun. enough indefinite pronoun ممكن تيجي indefinite pronoun. each ممكن تيجي indefinite pronoun. one ممكن تيجي indefinite pronoun. في عندي much ممكن تيجي indefinite pronoun. اوكي. كل دول ممكن يجوا indefinite pronouns. دي جروب نمبر 1. جروب نمبر 1 دي when it comes every member here or any member here when it comes as a subject it will be a singular subject. a singular subject. تمام. وهنشوف ده في الاكزامبلز. تعالوا نروح لجروب نمبر 2 في ال Indefinite Pronouns. جروب نمبر 2 في ال Indefinite Pronouns دول لما بيجوا subject group number 2 members in group number 2 when they come as a subject it will be a plural subject, a plural subject زي ايه both زي few. دول كلهم indefinite pronouns ممكن يجوا indefinite pronouns ولما بيكون subject بيبقى plural subject both few many. تمام. حاولوا تفرقوا في النطق ما بين many دي many اوكي ودي many ودي اللي هي many اوكي many and many اوكي many others several كل دول على فكرة جروب ايه دول الجروب 2 دول الممبرز بتاع جروب 2 لما بيجوا subject بيكون plural subject. تمام. في عندي بقى جروب تالتة اوكي جروب 3 دول لما الجروب 3 دول الممبرز بتوعها لما بيجوا subject ممكن يكون السبجكت ده اعتبره singular او اعتبره plural according to the singularity or plurality of the noun that comes after it. تاني هنشوف اوكي تاني يبقى الممبرز بتوع جروب نمبر 3 اللي احنا هنقولهم كمان شويه اوكي when they function as a subject of a sentence we consider their plurality or singularity or singularity according to the singularity and plurality of the noun following them. Okay. طب ايه هم طبعا هنشوف we're gonna see this in examples. Okay. So ايه هم بقى الممبرز بتوع جروب نمبر 3 دول كلهم indefinite pronouns all any more most none some جروب نمبر ايه دول جروب نمبر 3. وعلشان جروب نمبر 3 يعني ما يتلخبطوش مع الممبرز بتاع جروب نمبر 1 and جروب نمبر 2 نصيحتي ليكم نحفظ كلمة ايه عشان ما ننساهمش. نحفظ كلمة سنام ف S دي اللي هي some اوكي A دي هتبقى مثلا all و A التانية هتبقى any N اللي هي تبقى none M دي اللي هي تبقى more او تبقى most. فسنام دول اللي هم الممبرز بتوع جروب نمبر 3. تمام. وعشان قبل ما ناخد before we tackle some examples عشان اشرح لكم اكتر وتفهموا اكتر حته ان الجروب نمبر 3 او indefinite pronouns in جروب نمبر 3 ساعات يجوا singular او plural subjects. ازاي؟ مثلا لو قلت مثلا some of the students are ولا is اوكي يبقى هنقول are اوكي. طيب لو قلت some of the apple يعني ايه حتة كده some of the apple اوكي يبقى some of the apple مثلا is good or some of the apple is not suitable for eating اوكي. some of the apple is فهم ايه حسب اللي بيجي وراهم. مثلا all of the apples are all of the apple يعني كل التفاحة is. شايفين ازاي؟ يعني حسب ايه بيجوا السنجولاريتي والبلوراليتي لما بيكونوا subject of a sentence فالسنجولاريتي والبلوراليتي بتاعتهم بتعتمد على ايه؟ بتعتمد على الناون following them. تعالوا نشوف examples اكتر. مثلا اقول a book is something that everybody wants to read هنا احنا هناخد examples على كل الجروب نمبر 1 2 and 3. اوكي تمام. هنا هو طبعا استخدمت everybody. خد بالك a book is something and something اهو. a book is something that everybody wants to read. اوكي مثلا ممكن ناخد example. تعالى دول examples على how we use indefinite pronouns. تعالوا ممكن نلاقي برضو اليوز بتاع indefinite pronouns مثلا في example زي مثلا of those who say nothing, of those who say nothing, few are silent. few are silent. هنا هو هنلاحظ ان ايه استخدمنا of those who say nothing. nothing اهو ادي indefinite pronoun. تمام. few are silent. في نفس الاكزامبل هنا هنلاحظ few هنا جايه subject. احنا عارفين indefinite pronoun اللي هو few ده لما بيكون subject بيبقى plural زي ما خدنا في 3 groups اللي فاتوا. اوكي فعشان كده قلنا few are، عشان كده استخدمنا plural verb في ال present simple هنا. مثلا لو جيت قلت مثلا بصوا every thing is funny as long as it is happening to somebody else. طبعا هنا هو تبص هنلاقي في هنا هو indefinite pronouns. yes we can underline everything that's indefinite pronoun. في somebody برضو indefinite pronouns. بس هنلاحظ let's focus here on everything. هنا هو everything is an indefinite pronoun that function as a subject of the sentence. okay and we are here in the tense of tense هنا هو present simple. so هنا singular everything is singular subject or plural subject. actually احنا خدنا في جروب 1 لما بيجوا indefinite pronouns في جروب 1 بيبقوا لما بيجوا subject بيبقى singular subject. عشان كده احنا استخدمنا singular verb which is okay. بالنسبة للword اللي هي بالنسبة لindefinite pronoun somebody هنا مش subject ف we don't care about الsingularity والplurality بتاعته فبنقول is happening to somebody else. تمام. احنا بنشوف examples we hear experience the use of indefinite pronouns in different situations different examples. مثلا تعالى لو قلنا مثلا everybody likes Nora. يعني كل الناس بتعجب بنورا but nobody lends her money. no one lends her money. so هنلاقي هنا هو two indefinite pronouns everybody nobody. بس هنا everybody جاية السبجكت بتاع sentence اللي هي او الكلاز جاية subject بتاع الكلاز everybody likes Nora ف that's the subject. عشان كده هو و everybody طبعا لما بيجي subject احنا عارفين ان هو بيبقى من جروب 1 اللي هو بيجي لما بتيجي subject بتبقى singular subject. عشان كده هيجي معاها singular verb which is likes. great. تعالى ناخد example تاني. لما بقول my friends don't know anything about music. so my friends don't know anything about music. هنا هو لاحظ ان استخدمنا anything. that's another example for the use of indefinite pronouns. تعالوا ناخد example ده. many love to watch Muhammad Salah playing football. هنا هو فين السبجكت بتاع السنتنس دي؟ هو many. فين الفيرب؟ هو love. okay, so many love to watch محمد صلاح playing football. so many هنا هو لما نفتكر هما لما ده هنا indefinite pronoun functioning and as a subject of the sentence. طب هل هنا هو ده هيبقى subject plural ولا singular؟ هنفتكر مع بعض. هنا هو ده subject plural ولا singular؟ ده من الجروب نمبر 2 صح؟ من جروب نمبر 2 اللي هي بتبقى always plural. علشان كده هنقول many love مش هنقول many loves. تمام. ناخد example كمان. all of us are happy about the food. 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 لاحظنا ايه فين هنا الفيرب بتاعي اللي هو المين فيرب بتاع السنتنس دي؟ هو the state verb are. اوكي. طب فين السبجكت بتاعه؟ all. all زي many من جروب نمبر 2 لو فاكرين اللي هم الجروب اللي هي بتبقى لما بتكون subject. تمام. subject of a sentence. subject ده بيكون plural. great. تعالوا في يعني في a lot of us ask about the difference between or the different usage of someone versus everyone versus anyone versus no one. نفس الحكاية يعني someone versus everyone versus anyone versus no one. امتى بستخدم ده وامتى استخدم ده وامتى استخدم ده؟ اوكي. برضو نفس الحكاية somebody versus everybody versus anybody versus nobody. او مثلا مثلا ممكن نقول everyone versus sorry مثلا something versus everything versus everyone versus no one. تمام. امتى يعني لما نحافظ على one. اوكي. مثلا هنحافظ على one ونغير some versus every versus any versus no. ما هو انا عندي متغيرين هنا في اللحظه دي يعني some و every any و no versus ان انا ده الجزء الاولاني من الاندفينيت بروناون. الجزء الثاني من الاندفينيت بروناون ساعات يتغير اللي هو ايه ممكن يكون one يكون body يكون thing يكون where. تمام. فهم وبعدين تحسوا ان هي زي تباديل وتوافيق. يعني بصوا اهو لما مثلا بقول some every ممكن احنا we have a game now we have any مثلا no. ده بيبقى بيمثل لنا الجزء الاولاني من الايه من الاندفينيت بروناون بتاعنا. الجزء الثاني من الاندفينيت بروناون بيبقى ساعات one وبنلاحظ ان هو ساعات يبقى body وساعات ان هو نلاحظ ان هو thing وساعات نلاحظ ان هو where. تعالى نلعب تباديل وتوافيق. اوكي great. تعالوا نكون indefinite pronouns. عندي someone somebody something somewhere. نفس الحكاية everyone everybody everything everywhere. تعالى نتكلم على any. شايفين التباديل والتوافيق؟ anyone anybody anything anywhere. تعالوا نتكلم على no one nobody nothing nowhere. وبكده نقدر نقدر نكون الاندفينيت بروناونز. طبعا كلهم بيبقوا كلمه واحده ما عدا خلي بالك no one هي بتبقى كلمتين. no لوحدها no one بس هي بتبقى كلمتين. ده اللي احنا دايما بنشوف النيتيف سبيكرز لما بيجوا بيكتبوا no one. ساعات بنلاحظ ان في الكتابات ساعات يحطوا داش ما بين no one وتبقى one word. اوكي. بس الموست كومن يوز لنو one هما كلمتين مختلفتين. تعال نشوف بقى اللي هي لما بنبدأ نغير نحافظ على الجزء الثاني، وليكن 1 هنا هو عندي في الاكزامبل بتاعي. تمام، في الاكزامبل بتاعي هنا هو هحافظ على 1 اللي هو الجزء الثاني من indefinite pronouns، واغير some versus every versus any versus no. تمام، وتعالوا نشوف امتى بنستخدم someone versus everyone versus anyone versus no one. تعالوا نشوف ال different usage، مهم قوي الجزء ده. تمام، مثلا تعالوا نعرفها من خلال ايه؟ من خلال example. Let's know the difference between someone, the usage, know the difference between the different uses of someone versus everyone versus anyone versus no one. ايه by using some examples. تعالوا نقول مثلا someone is watching you from the window. 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 طيب مصطفى is dating someone. هنلاحظ ان هنا بصوا someone، هنلاحظ هنا بقى ايه؟ someone في الحالتين كانت استخدمناهم في جملتين، two statements، يعني جمل، والجمل دي مش منفية. يعني ما ينفعش اقول، خد بالك، ما ينفعش استخدم someone في جمل منفية. تمام، يعني ما ينفعش اقول مصطفى is not dating someone. اوكي، someone لاحظنا ان احنا بنستخدمهم في positive statements، جمل خبرية مثبتة يعني مش منفية. تمام، طب تعالى بص على every، تعالى ناخد ده versus every اهو. هنقول ايه؟ every one in this country is kind. I want to help everyone. نفس الحكاية، أما لقينا everyone في ال couple of examples دول لقيناهم زي نفس someone. We notice that everyone is also used in positive statements اللي هي بين قوسين not negated statements. not negated، ماشي؟ not negated statements ما بنستخدمهاش في جمل منفية. great. طيب تعالوا نشوف ده بقى someone و everyone versus anyone. تعالوا بصوا anyone ممكن نستخدمها ازاي. مثلا في الاكزامبلز بصوا لاحظوا I don't know anyone who can fix this TV. I don't know anyone. I don't know someone. I don't know everyone ولا I don't know anyone. So خلي بالنا بقى هنا هو I don't know anyone who can fix this TV. تعالوا مثلا تعالوا نعمل سؤال yes or no question ونقول do you know someone, everyone ولا anyone؟ لا، do you know anyone who can fix this TV. This is a yes or no question. يبقى لاحظنا anyone في الاكزامبل ده، لاحظنا anyone في الاكزامبل ده استخدمناه في جملة بس الجملة دي منفية. anyone استخدمنا في جملة بس الجملة دي منفية. I don't know anyone who can fix this TV. ما اقدرش اقول I don't know someone who can fix this TV. او ما اقدرش اقول، او بنلاحظ النيتيف سبيكرز ما بيقولوش I don't know everyone who can fix this TV. بنلاحظ النيتيف سبيكرز لما بيستخدموا الجملة منفية بيقولوا I don't know anyone. انا ما اعرفش اي حد who can fix this TV. okay. كمان برضو في الجمل الاستفهامية بين قوسين اللي هي الأسئلة yes or no question، فبنسأل مثلا تلاقي لاحظ النيتيف سبيكر هيسأل في اللحظة دي يقول ايه؟ Do you know anyone who can fix this TV؟ هل يقدر يقول، هل بيقولوا النيتيف سبيكرز يقولوا do you know someone؟ لا ما بيقولوش كده. do you know everyone؟ لا ما بيقولوش كده. يبقى ايه؟ do you know anyone who can fix this TV؟ اوكي great. تعالوا نشوفوا بقى no one. تعالوا ناخد examples عن no one. نلاقي هذا ايه؟ I know no one who can do this. I know no one who can do this. أهو. No one is happy. No one is happy about his misbehavior. لاحظوا هنا هو no one لما استخدمناها في الاكزامبل توا I know no one. هل قلت I don't know no one؟ لا I know no one. لاحظنا ايه ان احنا استخدمنا هنا I know no one. يبقى كده نفهم، تمام، نفهم ان هنا هو no one. we notice that no one is used in negative statements with the main verb not negated. تمام، احنا كده نقدر نستخدم no one زي ما في الاكزامبل ده no one نقدر نستخدمها في negative statements يعني ايه؟ جمل ذات معنى سلبي او معنى منفي، هي المعنى منفي. تمام، زي ما بيقول ايه I know no one، انا مش عارف، انا ما اعرفش. تمام، I know no one who can do this. المعنى هنا معنى، انا ما بقولكش انا عارف حد، لا انا ما اعرفش حد. هنا المعنى انا ما اعرفش حد، عشان كده that's what we call negative statements. عشان كده بنستخدم no one. لو استخدمنا no one يبقى احنا استخدمها في negative statement. تمام، زي بالظبط لما anyone برضو بنستخدمها في negative statement. بص الاكزامبل هنا، بص الاكزامبل ده مع استخدام no one anyone I don't know anyone who can fix this TV. اما استخدمت A1 كان negative statement برضو، بس كان المين فيرب بتاعها منفي negated بدون. لكن لما استخدمت no one negative statement برضو، تمام، جملة ذات معنى سلبي او معنى منفي، لكن المين فيرب بتاعها مش منفي. اوكي يبقى هنا هو نخلي بالنا مع ال different uses بتاعت no one. في الاكزامبل اللي بعديه بيقول لي no one is happy about his behavior. no one is happy about his behavior. طبعا بيقول لي يعني ما فيش حد is happy، ما بيقولش no one is not happy. لا، ما بيقولش no one is not happy. هنا هو المعنى اللي انا عايز اقوله ان هو ما فيش حد مبسوط بالبيهيفير بتاع فلان. يبقى ما بقولش no one هنا لو عايز اوصل المعنى دوا بالتحديد وعايز استخدم no one، يبقى no one is happy about his behavior. ما ينفعش ان انا اوصل المعنى ده من خلال اقول no one is not happy. خد بالك لان المعنى هنا هيختلف. خد بالك المعنى ممكن هنا يختلف. no one is not happy about his behavior معنى كده ان كل الناس are happy about his behavior. لكن المعنى اللي انا عايز اوصله دلوقتي من خلال الاكزامبل دوا ان مفيش حد مبسوط about his behavior، فمعنى كده ان كل الناس زعلانه من المس behavior بتاعه. فعايز اوصل المعنى ده هستخدم no one. يبقى no one is، مش هقول isn't. اوكي، يبقى no one is happy about his behavior عشان اوصل المعنى بتاع الفكره ان مفيش حد خالص فرحان باللي هو بيعمله او بسوء سلوكه. لا، ده كل الناس زعلانه، يعني كل الناس زعلانه. اوكي so اخلي بالي من ال different uses of someone versus everyone versus anyone versus no one. تمام، اوكي. دلوقتي هناخد ملحوظة مهمة قوي. تمام، تعالوا let's study ملحوظة مهمة عن استخدام ال Indefinite Pronouns. تمام، عايزين ناخد الملحوظة ده من خلال من خلال examples. تمام، لو قلت لك all in the lobby must remain seated versus all personnel in the lobby must remain seated. ممكن تقول لي تفكر can you think about the rule or the function of all the word or the pronoun, the indefinite pronoun all in these examples? Think about it. So let me ask you, in the first example, is all the subject of the sentence? The answer is yes, it's the subject of the sentence. Okay, so the main verb is, the verb of the sentence is must remain. This is the verb of the sentence. Must is the is a modal verb, a modal auxiliary verb, and remain is the main verb. Okay, and the verb of the sentence must remain. ايه هو اللي must remain؟ ايه السبجكت بتاع must remain؟ هو all في اللحظة دي. all. Okay، و in the lobby دي عبارة عن prepositional phrase زي ما هنعرف في الفيديو بتاع ال phrases, clauses and types of sentences. This is a prepositional phrase that functions as an adjective. Adjective هي بتوصف description، بتعمل description to the subject all. Okay, so all in the lobby must remain seated. تمام. لكن في let's study the second example and see the difference of the function and to see the difference when it comes to the function of the word all. Okay, all personnel in the lobby must remain seated. Where is the verb of the sentence? Okay, we can determine the verb of the sentence, which is okay, must remain. خلاص. Okay, that's the verb of the sentence. أمال فين subject? That's the verb. أمال فين subject هنا? The subject is personnel. That's the subject of the sentence. أمال هنا all function as إيه بقى؟ هنا all هنا هو في اللحظة دي it's an indefinite pronoun صحيح، بس functions as an adjective to the word personnel. So personnel is the subject of the sentence. Okay, personnel is the subject of the sentence. طبعا هيبقى in the lobby هنا هو هتبقى prepositional phrase function as an adjective لمين؟ لpersonnel، بتوصف personnel. Okay, so all is an adjective في اللحظة دي. يبقى هنا هو في in the first example we see that all is the subject of the sentence, which is indefinite pronoun and it functions as a subject of the sentence. لكن all in the second example, okay, is not the subject of the sentence. Okay, personnel is the subject of the sentence and all is indefinite pronoun that function as an adjective. وده كمان شفناه احنا، وده بنشوفه كمان في في demonstrative pronouns اللي هي ضمائر الإشارة. أما أقول لك I love this or sorry this is good. أما بقول this is good, this هنا هو demonstrative pronoun function as the subject of the sentence. لكن this boy is good or this car is good في اللحظة دي هتبقى this car، يبقى this adjective is a demonstrative pronoun function as an adjective. فاحنا شفنا تقريبا نفس السيتويشن ده بيحصل مع ايه؟ الديمونستراتيف بروناونز. عشان كده كنا بنقسم الديمونستراتيف بروناونز كنا بنقسمها منهم من الديمونستراتيف بروناونز اللي بيكونوا they function as من الديمونستراتيفز بنكاتيجورايز them into demonstrative pronouns، وكمان بنقسمهم ل determiners. فdeterminers they can be adjectives to other nouns. وده الفرق اللي بيتوضح لنا ما بين this is good و this car is good. This is good, this هنا that's the subject of the sentence. لكن this car is good, this car is the subject of the sentence and this في اللحظة دي determiner functioning as هنا this is demonstrative pronoun used as a determiner or as an adjective لcar. نفس الحكاية هنا هو لاحظناها مع استخدام ايه في المثال ده، مع استخدام indefinite pronouns. في المثال الاولاني all in the lobby must remain seated، هنا all is the subject of the sentence. لكن all personnel in the lobby, all is not the subject of the sentence. Rather than this, it is an adjective to the actual subject of the sentence, which is personnel. اوكي. تعالوا نشوفوا برضو example على تاني برضو. تعالوا ندرس المثالين دول. مهم قوي الكلام ده بالذات في academic reading and academic writing. It makes us fully aware of the use of our tools in academic English while we read or while we write. طيب اوكي، تعالوا بصوا. Please take some to Mr. Amr. مثلا ده كده هو مثلا تلاقي واحد بيتكلم على مثلا شوية تفاح مثلا قدامه مثلا يعني في تفاح قدامه، فانا بقول في تفاح قدامي انا مثلا انا وصديقي، فبقول له خد حبة لعمرو، خد حبة منه لمستر عمرو، فانا بتكلم على ده. تمام. فانا النيتيف سبيكر في اللحظة دي يعبر يقول ايه؟ please take some to Mr. عمرو. please take some to Mr. عمرو. فقدامنا حبة تفاح، حبة ليمون، حبة مش عارف، بقول له ايه؟ please take some to Mr. عمرو. اقصد ان هو some lemons مثلا او some apples، بس مش هقول ده، مش هقول ايه، مش هقول apples هنا. هو في الاكزامبل هنا هو هقول please take some to Mr. عمرو. تعالوا ندرس الاكزامبل اللي بعديه اهو. please take some lemons to Mr. عمرو. الله، هنا some وهنا some. في المثال الأولاني in the first example we have some, in the second example we have some. But some in the first example is an indefinite pronoun, functioning as the object. That's the object of the sentence, okay? In the second example is not the object. The some is not the object of the sentence. The actual object of the sentence is a lemon. Excellent. لو انت فكرت كده excellent. Lemons هو ده الكلمة دي lemons. The word lemons is the actual object of the sentence. هي دي المفعول به. أما some في اللحظة دي functions as an adjective to the word lemons. okay. فنخلي بالنا أو نبقى fully aware of the use of indefinite pronouns, of some indefinite pronouns لما بيكونوا هما functioning as an adjective to another noun، أو هما يبقوا functioning as the actual subject أو the actual object of the sentence or in the sentence. okay. جميل جدا. That's great. اللي احنا هنقوله في السلايد اللي جاية دي is very important when it comes to academic English and the use of personal pronouns and indefinite pronouns. بقى هنا هو اللي احنا هنيجي في السلايد دي هنتكلم على تداخل استخدام ال personal pronouns في الإشارة إلى ال indefinite pronouns. Oh my god, that's maybe a little bit confusing to a lot of students. إنه إزاي يستخدموا personal pronouns to refer to إن هم يشيروا إلى indefinite pronouns. بلاش نفكر في العنوان دوا، خد بالك. Let's dive into it and tackle some examples. تعالوا نبص على أمثلة ونشوف أنا أقصد إيه. تعالوا نشوف إحنا نقصد إيه مع بعض. تعالوا مثلا المثال ده if anyone wants a glass of water, they can get it from the kitchen. If anyone wants a glass of water, they can get it from the kitchen. لاحظنا ايه هنا هو if anyone wants a glass of water, anyone, they هنا refers to ايه؟ they is a personal pronoun. Anyone is an indefinite pronoun. They is a personal pronoun. Anyone أنا عارفه إن ال personal pronoun ده is when it comes as a subject it's a singular subject. بس انا لما حبيت ان انا to refer to، بلاحظ ان native speakers when they refer to anyone using a personal pronoun ما بيقولش his كده، ما بيقولش his or her في اللحظة دي، ولو ان في other uses بتقول his or her. اوكي، لكن عندنا مثلا في مايكل سوان، في الريفرنس بتاعنا مايكل سوان the practical English usage بيقول ان anyone في الحالة دي we can refer, we can use they which is plural personal pronoun to refer to anyone. Okay, we use they. مثلا someone someone left their mobile in that taxi. Someone left their mobile. Someone, that's an indefinite pronoun function as a subject. بنقول someone left their mobile. ما قلتش left his mobile. لا، أنا استخدمت their mobile. استخدمت هنا personal pronoun أو possessive pronoun their، تمام، علشان to refer to someone which is singular. عشان كده احنا بنقول the pronouns، الpronouns they them and their are always used to refer, are usually used, they are usually used to, are usually used by native speakers to refer to somebody, someone, nobody, no one, okay, somebody and some other singular indefinite pronouns. okay. بس في اللحظة دي مش بيبقى ليهم معنى الجمع، بيبقى ليهم معنى ايه؟ معنى مفرد. in this case the pronouns they, them and their has singular meaning. بيبقى ليهم singular في اللحظة دي. المينينج بتاعهم مش بيبقى جمع، لا، المينينج هنا هو بيبقى ليهم singular meaning. ليه singular meaning؟ علشان هما they refer to a singular indefinite pronoun زي someone is singular. okay. That's some study. That's some study of the indefinite pronouns.
Now let's study details about relative pronouns. Relative pronouns. And let's start with the most famous of relative pronouns, who and whom. Who and whom. Okay. And let's always remember that who and whom we use who and whom for people, to refer to people, okay. Let's study an example for the use of whom, and let's say I met the man who helped my brother. If we examine this sentence, so the subject is I, the verb is met, the object is the man, and who I helped, who helped my brother. Who helped my brother? That is what we call relative clause. As we already know, or as we will know that a clause is a group of words that has both a subject and a verb. A subject and a verb. So why we call it relative clause? Because this clause from here to there, from starting from who and reaching till brother, we have the subject here, which is who, is considered who, and the verb helped, and that's why, and because it starts with, and that's why it's a clause, and because it starts with a relative pronoun who, we call it relative clause. The relative clause here acts as or functions as an adjective to the word the man. So I can ask you, who's the man? Who's the man? So the answer is the man who helped. The man who helped my brother. So who helped my brother is an adjective, a description. Adjective description to the man. Okay? If we can take this sentence back, so we can say that this sentence equals both sentences. This sentence equals two sentences. The first sentence, I met the man. This is the first sentence, plus we have another sentence, the man helped my brother. So I can use the relative pronoun who here. Why the relative pronoun? Why the relative pronoun who in specific? Because native speakers, we usually look to the first sentence. Okay, to the second sentence. I'm sorry, the second sentence. The first sentence, I met the man. In the second sentence, the man here is repeated, and the man here is repeated, and it is people. It refers to a person. Okay, and at the same time, the man, the repeated noun here, which is the man, is the subject of the second sentence. Is the subject of because it's the subject of the second sentence, and it is people because I can use who. That's why we say I met the man who helped my brother. Okay. But when it comes to whom we use whom to refer to a person or people in general, but when the noun here is the object, not the subject, the object of the verb that follows whom. The object of the verb that follows whom. For example, if I say, I met the man, I met the man, this is the first sentence. The second sentence, my brother helped the man. So in the second sentence, look at the second sentence. What I want you is to focus on the second sentence. The repeated noun is the man. So ask yourself, what's the function of the repeated noun in the second sentence? It's the object. Obviously, it's the object. So in that case, it's not the subject. If it's the subject, like in the case of who, we can replace it with who. But here, the repeated noun is the object. So that's why we can make this couple of sentences, we can make it one sentence and I say, I met the man whom my brother helped. So I use whom. And here the relative clause starting from whom till we reach helped functions as the adjective of the man because it gives more information about the man. Which one? I met the man. Yeah. Which one? Okay. Or who's this man? Who's this man? I met the man. So give me more details about this man. So the answer, I met the man whom my brother helped. Whom my brother helped. So the relative clause here, the relative clause here starts with whom and ends with helped. Whom my brother helped function as an adjective to the word man. Okay. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. Okay. So now I have who and whom. I met the man who helped my brother. Who helped my brother? So I met the man who helped my. So my brother was the one who received the help by the man. Okay, so the man is the doer of the action of helping. That's why I met the man who performed the action of helping. So I met the man who helped my brother, and my brother was the object, was the receiver of the action. But when I say I met the man whom my brother helped, it means that the performer of the action of helping, or the helping action, the doer, the performer of the action, was not the man in this case. It is my brother. It is my brother who helped, and whom he helped the man. Okay, so the man here is the receiver of the action, and the doer of the action is my brother. The receiver of the action is the man. Okay, and the man, I met the man. So which one? Who's the man? Give me more information of the man. The man whom my brother helped. Whom my brother helped. This man here is the subject of the verb helped. Okay, is the subject. And which word is the the man here is the object of the word helped. The man here is the object of the word helped. The man here is the object because it received the action of helping. And who helped the man is my brother. Okay, that is a little bit. I know that many of us can understand this, but some of us are a little bit confused about it. Okay. Now we're gonna tackle one of the most important uses of who versus whom. This is very important. Who versus whom. What I want you to focus on now is this example, whom. And let's remember that this sentence was originally I met the man, then my brother, and the second one was my brother helped the man. And because the man here is repeated, and in the second sentence it's the object, So I can make it one sentence, like we said, I met the man whom my brother helped. But what I want you to focus on is that helped here was the verb, okay, and the verb here is a transitive verb with direct object. Is transitive verb because it has an object, and the object is direct object. So what about studying this example? I met the man, and I say in the second sentence, my father spoke to the man. So the first sentence, I met the man. The second sentence, my father spoke to the man. See the verb in the second sentence, it's spoke, and the object is the man. But we have a preposition here because spoke is transitive verb, but the object here is indirect object. Is indirect object because, as we studied, as we can study in the many types of verbs, that we have transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. And transitive verbs may be followed by the object directly, like my brother helped the man. So that is transitive verb with direct object. And my father spoke to the man. So the object here is, so spoke is a verb, is transitive verb with the object, with indirect object, because we have two. So if I want here to make it one sentence, so the man here is the repeated noun and it is the object. So the first thing comes that pops up, in our mind is that we use whom. Okay, is we use whom. So can we say I met the man whom my father spoke to? Can I say this? Okay, so as we did with this example, as we did with the example of in which we mentioned the verb help, can we say this here? So that's wrong. So if I want to use whom, in this case, I say I met the man to whom. This is the correct thing. I put to before whom here. Okay, we can notice that native speakers use this form, and instead of saying I met the man whom my father spoke to, that's wrong. Native speakers say I met the man to whom my father spoke. Okay, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, another answer. We can notice native speakers also say I met the man who my father spoke to. So when they want to put to at the end of the sentence, my father spoke to, they use who here. I met the man who my father spoke to. Okay, and that is also considered correct. And the only difference between this sentence or this style using to whom versus using who then to is this form is more formal. We use it in academic English. We prefer it in academic English. But this form is less formal. It means we don't prefer saying, in academic English, we don't prefer saying, I'm the man who my father spoke to. Rather than this, in academic English, we use the more formal style and we say, I'm the man to whom my father spoke. I'm the man to whom my father spoke. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Another example, when I say Ahmed remembered the girl. That's sentence number one. We can say Hiba, another sentence, Hiba shared some books with the girl. Or with her. Okay, or with her. So can you put these sentences together using a relative pronoun? A relative pronoun. Can you put them together using a relative pronoun? Yes. First, the repeated noun is the girl. Okay. The repeated noun is the girl. But in the second sentence, Hiba shared some books with the girl. Okay. So shared some books with the girl. So share here has two objects, which is she shared some books and with the girl. Okay, the girl is one of the, so I can use whom here, but when I can use whom here, I have to use the preposition, and I say Ahmed remembered the girl with whom Hiba shared some books. The question, can I use who? Yes, we can use who, but in this matter, this is the use of with whom that is very formal. We can say more formal. Can I use who? Yes, we can use who, but the sentence will be less formal, and we can say Ahmed remembered the girl who. It's okay, but in this situation, we're gonna end the sentence with the word with. So Ahmed remembered the girl who Hiba shared some books with. Who Hiba shared some books with. We use who and we use with. Okay? Okay, that's interesting. The use of who versus whom in this sense. Okay? So let's move to another relative pronoun, and it is which. Let's study this relative pronoun and how to use, how native speakers, let's study how native speakers use, how do native speakers use the relative pronoun which in the English language. First, let's study this sentence. I bought the car which helped me to save time. If we focus on this sentence, that the subject is I, the verb is bought, the car is the object, then which helped me to save time, which helped me to save time. That is a relative clause describing the car, giving more information about the car. So if from this sentence or based on this sentence, if I asked you, what are the details mentioned here about the car? So you will logically answer me and with the relative clause, and we're gonna say the details or the description of the car is all in the relative clause that starts with which and ends with the word time. So which helped me to save time. This is description to the word car. Okay? So can you take this sentence back to two sentences, a couple of sentences? Yes, I can say this sentence, okay, this sentence was originally two sentences. I bought the car. I bought the car. The car helped me to save time. Here the repeated name is car. I'm so sorry for using E after each time I write car. I'm sorry. Okay. I bought the car. The car helped me. So the repeated name is the car. Is it people or non-people? So it's a non-people. So which, by the way, which we use it only with non-people. On the contrary of the use of who or whom. Who and whom are only used with people, but which is used with non-people. Here the repeated noun here in the second sentence is the subject. I can use which, and I say I bought the car which helped my brother. So the car is the performer. The car is the performer of the action helped. Okay, so because this car did the action of helping me, I was the object. I received the action that was done by the car. The car is the subject of helped. So that's why we say I bought the car which helped. So this car helped me to save time. So the doer or the performer of the action of helping here is the car, and the receiver of the action is me. Okay, but when I say, okay, I bought, let's study this example. I bought the car again an extra E. I bought the car which my wife loved. If you want to take this sentence, so let's study the sentence. I is the subject, bought is the verb, the car is the object, which my wife loved. This is a relative clause functioning as a description or an adjective to the word car. Okay, so can I ask you about the verb love? What is the subject of the verb love? So wife. What here loved. Okay, loved. Go back. What did my wife love? My wife loved the car. So this sentence was originally two sentences. The first one, I bought the car, and the second one, my wife loved the car. So here the repeated name is the car, and the repeated name in the second, repeated name in the second sentence is the object of the second sentence, is the object of the verb love. Okay, of the verb love. That's why we say, I bought the car, give me more description about the car, which my wife loved. So the car here is the object of the verb coming after it, is the object. The car here is the verb, is the object of the verb love. the verb coming after it, the verb following the car. The car is the object of the verb following the car. Okay, so I bought the car, give me more description, which my wife loved. So the performer of the action of loving here is the wife, and the receiver of the action is the car. If I want to describe the car here, I bought the car which my wife loved. Okay. Let's study this example. I love this plant. We extract lot of medicine from it. So again, I love this plant. We extract a lot of medicines from it. I love this plant. This is the first sentence. The second sentence, we extract a lot of medicines from it. Can you use a proper pronoun, a proper relative pronoun to put these sentences together? Yes, I can use a proper pronoun, because see here, I want to spot here the repetition. So this plant here in the first sentence, and it, that refers to this plant in the second sentence. Okay, so what kind this is? Noun people. I can use which. So can I say I love this? Can I love this plant which we extract a lot of medicines from? Okay, so we can put here just a comma, because this is, as we're gonna tackle this, we're gonna study this in punctuation. Okay, I love this, but for this moment, okay, we add just a comma after this plant. I love this plant which we extract a lot of medicines from. That is okay, that's correct. So can I use this preposition before which? Yes, it's a good answer as well. I can say I love this plant from which we extract a lot of medicines. That's okay. So again, the first two sentences, I love this plant. The second one, we extract a lot of medicines from this plant or from it. So I can say I love this plant which we extract a lot of medicines from. Okay, and we can say I love this plant. I can use from before which. Okay, because this is more formal. This one is more formal than this. This is less formal. This sentence is less formal. This sentence is less formal, but the sentence is more formal. The sentence in which we use the preposition before the sentences in which we use the preposition before the relative pronoun, those sentences are more formal. Okay, it's more formal to say I love this plant from which we extract a lot of medicines. So in academic English, we prefer the more formal style. Okay. Now let's study also this sentence, and let's study the use of which in this sentence. Okay, this sentence reads, the government is building a new capital for Egypt, which is very important. So we used which. Can you figure out? Can you think about this use of which? And what does which refer to? What does which refer to? If you think about what does which, or the relative pronoun which refer to, you're gonna find that which refers to the whole idea of that the government is building a new capital for Egypt. Okay, so which here, so the use of which here is the use of which to refer to the whole idea, or a whole idea, a complete idea, whole idea. So we can use which to refer to a whole idea. Some grammarians do not prefer this. Do not prefer the use of which to refer to to a whole idea. Okay, but actually it's this use is very common in the English language. Okay, so I'm always asked, what's the difference between which and that when it comes to the use? In academic English, by the way, we only use that instead of which in some instances, but we do not prefer the use of that instead of who or whom. Okay, we prefer the use of that instead of which in some instances, as we are going to tackle, or as we're going to study right now. First, when I say, I want you to compare between these two examples. Okay, the first example, when I say, so we're gonna now study which versus that. The first sentence, when I say I use this chair which I bought 6 years ago. Second sentence, when I say I use chairs that have long legs. So can you figure out the difference between which and that here? Think about it. Think about the context in each sentence. In the first sentence, you're gonna notice that when I use which, it was preceded by something specific. The noun was specific. This chair refers to a specific chair. That's why I used which. But with the use of that, it was preceded with chairs, which is something general, not a specific, not a specific. Okay, not a specific. I use the chairs, so that's why we use that. That have long legs. A simple example for this, for example, I love cities which or that have long beaches. So which or that, just focus on the word before which or that. Here, is it a specific? If is it a specific or not specific? So cities here is not a specific. That's why if it's not a specific, we use that. I love cities that have long beaches, okay, or that have beautiful beaches, okay. That is the difference between which or that in the use, okay. Another very important relative pronoun, which is whose. We can use whose to refer to people, or we can use whose to refer to non-people. For example, to refer to people, when I say I met the man whose daughter is my neighbor. Okay, here whose referred to the man. Originally, this sentence can be split into two sentences, and I say I met the man, full stop, his daughter is my neighbor. So here his and the man and the his is repeated, so I can replace his with whose. I met the man whose daughter is my neighbor. Okay, and I can also, or native speakers can also use whose to refer to non-people, something that is not people. Non-people, like for example, I love the tree whose branches overhang the street. Overhang the street, it means the branches extends inside, or it extends toward the middle of the street. Okay, so the branches extend toward the middle of the street. يعني الفروع بتاعت الشجر داخلة جوه ايه في الشارع. That's why we say I love the tree whose branches. So I used whose to refer to the tree and to connect the branches to the tree. The tree owns the branches, like the man owns the daughter. So I use whose to link what is possessed, الاسم المملوك للاسم المالك, what is possessed, okay, to what is possessing. Okay, so I link the possessed noun to the possessing noun. أنا بربط الاسم المملوك للاسم المالك. So here the tree has the branches and the man has the daughter. So I met the man, give me more information about the man. This man whose daughter is my neighbor. So, and that is my relative pronoun. That is my relative clause. Okay, and it functions as an adjective to the man. Okay, the same with I love the tree whose branches overhang the street. So this is whose branches overhang the street is description to the tree. That is the relative clause. It's more formal to say Muhammad in whose building a lot of students live is my neighbor. Who is your neighbor? Can I ask, when you read the sentence, after you read the sentence, I want to ask you a simple question, because this structure is a little bit confusing for a lot of students. I'll tell you something. Ask yourself, who is my neighbor? My neighbor is Muhammad. So what are the details mentioned here about Muhammad? So all of this is description to Muhammad. Okay, in whose building a lot of students live is description to Muhammad. Okay, it means in whose students, اللي في بيته a lot of students live, طلاب كتير عايشين. ماله بقى محمد is my neighbor. Okay, this is formal style. This is formal style in which we use the preposition before, the relative pronoun. Also, we can say that I can make it less formal and say Muhammad who's building a lot of students live in. See, I used whose and then in is my neighbor. So in this case, so I used whose and n. Okay, but this is to describe Muhammad, not okay. This sentence is less formal. It's more formal to say Muhammad in whose building a lot of students live. يعني محمد اللي في بيته in whose building اللي في بيته a lot of students live في طلاب كتير عايشين is my neighbor دوا محمد دوا بقى يبقى is my neighbor. لو انا وقفت بس لحد محمد in whose building a lot of students live and I stopped كده يبقى انا قلت ايه subject بس ما قلتلهوش verb، لان كل الكلاز اللي هي in whose building a lot of students live، كل مجموعة الكلمات اللي هي in whose building a lot of students live كلها مجموعة الكلمات دي بتوصف ايه؟ بتوصف محمد، بس محمد كده من غير كده لحد كده ملهوش verb، فهنشيل كده that's why we say is my neighbor. Okay, this is very important use about whose. Okay, another also very important relative pronoun is when and where. Let's see the difference. For example, let's give you an example. I remember, it's easy. I remember the day when I met your mother. Okay, here I used when because I was referring to time, day. I can say I remember the place, so I will use where I met your mother, so I used where because I'm referring to a place. Okay, so the same is the same like Same like other relative pronouns. This is my relative clause. It refers to and it describes the day. This is my relative clause because it's a group of words and it starts with a relative pronoun. It is used to describe place. Okay, but there is important difference. Sometimes we do not prefer the use of where. We use something else. Let's guess. For example, it's easy to answer this question. I know the hotel. I know the hotel. Then blank. People enjoy swimming. So what kind of relative pronoun I can put here, because the hotel, that is a place, and the context here is talking about that I know a place, and in this place people enjoy swimming, so I can use where, and it's simple. I know the hotel where people enjoy swimming. That's okay. So that's a hotel, a place you can walk in, مكان تقدر تمشي فيه. طب what about حلم مثلا؟ I had a dream. Can I say where I saw two pigeons? Pigeons يعني ايه؟ حمامتين. أنا كان عندي حلم شفت فيه حمامتين. So I had a dream. يا ترى أقول where I saw two pigeons? Is where correct? No, it's not correct. Because a dream is not a physical place. مش مكان تقدر تمشي فيه. هو بيشير إلى مكان ده كان a virtual place. هنا هو virtual place. مكان افتراضي. Virtual place. Dream is a place you can't walk or physically walk in. ما تقدرش تمشي في الحلم. Okay, أنا بقول أقصد مشي حقيقي يعني. That's why a dream, because it's not a place, we cannot use where. Instead we use in which. In which. In which is the correct word here. So we can say, I say, I had a dream in which I saw two pigeons. I had a dream in which I saw two pigeons. I had a dream in which I saw two pigeons. Okay, that was all about relative pronouns. Now let's talk about reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns. So the family of reflexive pronouns include, first we have myself, your self, himself, herself, itself. We can notice that these reflexive pronouns are all singular, and we have our selves, your selves, them selves. We can notice that these reflexive pronouns are plural. Okay, so the question now is when do
native English language speakers use reflexive pronouns. So let's see. First, let's study this couple of sentences. The first one, I got myself a new BMW car. We see myself here is an object. Okay, and we see that the subject is I, that is the subject. And we can notice that both the subject and the object are the same. The subject and the object are the same. Okay. Let's see the second example. We say, while shaving, my father cut himself. Cut himself here means إن هو عور نفسه. Okay, but that wasn't purposefully or deliberately. يعني مش كان بتعمد on purpose. Okay, لا ده كان هو كده يعني ايه عور نفسه يعني مش قصد ان هو عمل كده يعني عمل that action on purpose. لا هو يعني عور نفسه. Okay, we see here himself is the object of the verb cut and father is the subject of the verb cut, and both the subject and object refer to the same person. So we can say that native speakers use the reflexive pronouns as the object of a verb when the object refer to the same person or thing. In other words, when the subject of the sentence and the object of the sentence, okay, the subject of the verb and the object of the verb are the same. When I say I got myself a new BMW car, so who is the doer here? This is I. Okay, who is the object here? It is also me. Okay, so I got myself. أنا اشتريت لي أو حصلت لي يعني. In Arabic يعني مجازا نقول حصلت لي. I got myself a new BMW car. Okay. هنا في sense of emphasis. لأن هو كان ممكن أقول I got a new BMW car. I got a new BMW car. The same idea, but when I use myself here, is just for emphasis. I got myself a new BMW car. Okay. Okay. In the second example, we can say native speakers. We can see that native speakers say, while shaving, my father cut himself. While shaving, my father cut himself. So, himself is the object. My father is the subject. Okay. So, the subject and the object are the same. They refer to the same person. Okay. So, my father cut what? Or cut whom? Cut which person? Cut himself, not someone else. Okay, so my father cut himself. Okay. Okay, هنا that's why we call it reflexive pronouns. It comes from the word reflection. لما بتقف في المراية when you stand in front of the mirror you see a reflection of yourself. That's why my father called himself is as if himself is the reflection of my father. Okay, my father called himself يعني عور نفسه. Okay, that's great. In the second context in which native English language speakers use reflexive pronouns is, let's study these examples. Her only concern is all about herself. Okay, so the reflexive pronoun herself. Focus here. We have the reflexive pronoun herself. So I ask you, to which word the reflexive pronoun herself refer to? So herself ترجع لمين؟ ترجع لher. So هنا هنلاحظ ان استخدام الرeflexive pronoun is to refer back to a previously mentioned possessive pronoun, that is possessive pronoun. Okay, let's tackle another example. They love their father for himself, not for anything else. We see the reflexive pronoun himself refers to the object of the sentence, okay, the object of the sentence, which is the father himself, the father. Okay, that's why we can say we use reflexive pronouns to refer back to a previously mentioned possessive pronoun, as in this example. Her only concern is all about herself, so herself refers back to the possessive herself, which is the reflexive pronoun refers back to the possessive pronoun her. Okay, or we can use reflexive pronouns to refer back to an object, as in this example. They love their father, so the object is their father. The object of the verb love is their father. They love their father for himself, not for anything else. For himself. Himself is the reflexive pronoun, which refers back to the object of the sentence, the object of the verb, the main verb of the sentence, which is love. So they love their father for himself. Himself refers back to the object of the sentence. That's why we see native speakers use reflexive pronouns to refer back to a previously mentioned possessive pronoun or an object. Okay, حلو جدا. Okay, the third context in which we see we see native English speakers use the reflexive pronouns is in the form of by plus the reflexive pronoun. Let's study these examples. First example, sometimes Ahmed likes to spend time by himself. يعني في بعض الأحيان أحمد بيحب إن هو يقضي الوقت يقضي وقت لوحده by himself. Okay. هبة will wash the dishes by herself. So هبة هتغسل الصحون. هبة will wash the dishes by herself. بنفسها. Okay. So in these examples, we notice that native speakers use reflexive pronouns, okay, in the structure of by plus the reflexive pronouns. Okay. So just to add some emphasis, بعض التأكيد, okay, على الأكشن, بعض التأكيد على الأكشن اللي بيحصل في السنتنس. مثلا هبة will wash the dishes. We can stop here. هبة will wash the dishes. When native speakers give an extra emphasis by herself يعني بنفسها. طيب ما أنا ممكن أوكي أفهم الجملة هبة will wash the dishes. أوكي. بس أنا حابب أأكد إن هبة will do this action by herself بنفسها. Okay, so I add by herself to add more emphasis. لما بقول مثلا أحمد likes to spend time. Okay, to spend time, that's a little bit vague. To spend time with his friends or alone. Okay, so I add by himself. It means هو لوحده بس. هو بس اللي هيعمل الأكشن. هو بس اللي هو بيعمل الأكشن دوا. يبقى هو بس اللي هيعمل الأكشن اللي هو to spend time. بإيه؟ لوحده by himself. أحمد likes to spend time by himself. By himself في اللحظة دي added more emphasis. Okay. Let's see another context in which native English language speakers use reflexive pronouns. When I say, let's study this example, the apartment, we can hear a native speaker saying, the apartment itself is good, but the neighborhood يعني الجيران is really bad. فواحد مثلا رايح يقول مثلا راح يشوف شقة في منطقة معينة، فأما جاء يشوفها فبيقول الفيدباك بتاعه، فبيقول له ايه رأيك في الشقة مثلا، فهو بيرد the apartment itself is good. كان ممكن يقول the apartment is good بس هو added itself. the apartment itself is good but the neighborhood is really bad. الشقة نفسها كويسة بس neighborhood اللي هو يعني الجيران أو الجيرة يعني is really bad. Okay, so we used here itself to add more emphasis on the apartment. Okay, let's see another example here. The doctor will talk to the mother herself to help her daughter. مثلا we can hear native English speakers say, the doctor will talk to the mother herself to help her daughter. We used herself to emphasize, to add more emphasis, or to add emphasis on the mother itself, the mother. Okay, we could say the doctor will talk to the mother to help her daughter. Okay, but we added herself just to add some emphasis on the mother. Okay. Let's also see this example. It is one of my best days. The president himself called me. So we can see the use of the reflexive pronoun himself just to add more emphasis on the word president. Okay, that's what we can say about reflexive pronouns. In the last one, okay, I can just add here number 4 is just we use reflexive pronouns just to place some emphasis اللي هو بعض التأكيد. Okay, that's all about reflexive pronouns. Let's move to another type of reflexive pronouns. Now we can talk about reciprocal pronouns. Reciprocal pronouns are famous ones, and they are frequently used in the English language. And there are only 2. We can say each other. Reciprocal pronouns are 2 pronouns. One of them is each other, okay, and one another. Those are the most commonly used reciprocal pronouns in the English language. And let's see an example. My friend and I write to each other or one another, both are correct, every day. Every day. So my friend and I, that's the subject, write to each other or one another, both are correct, every day. Okay, we can see that the use of each other, we can say that the use of each other is more common in English language than one another. يعني استخدام each other في الانجليش language بيبقى أكتر من one another. وممكن كمان على فكرة نستخدم each other و one another in the possessive form أو في شكل الملكية. يعني ممكن نلاقي examples, we can find examples in English language like this one. They, for example, you can say they looked into each other's or one another's eyes. يعني في 2 بيبصوا في عينين بعض، فبقول ايه how can I express this? They looked into each other's eyes or one another's eyes. That's what we call reciprocal pronouns. بس هنا هو احنا استخدمنا reciprocal pronouns in the possessive form. That is the possessive form، يعني في شكل الملكية possessive form. We can use reciprocal pronouns with possessive in the possessive form. And we say they looked into each other's eyes. يعني مثلا two fighters مثلا مع بعض فهم في مثلا في match wrestling مثلا بيلعبوا wrestling ف they looked into each other's eyes. They looked into one another's eyes. تمام. مين اللي احنا ممكن بنلاقيه في الانجليش لانجوج بنستخدمه اكتر each other ولا one another؟ لا most frequently بنلاحظ ان native English speakers use each other اكتر من one another. بس both of them are correct. Okay, that's reciprocal pronouns. Okay, finally we'll end our talk or our discussion
over pronouns with a very hot tab on using pronouns. This is a very hot tab, very hot tab, very hot tab on using pronouns. مهم قوي النصيحة اللي جاية دي. احنا عارفين طبعا ان ال pronouns are used to stop repetition of the noun. يعني احنا بنستخدم ال pronouns علشان نوقف استخدام ال noun كذا مرة لو انا محتاج ان انا اعيد ال noun في الكلام بتاعي، سواء الكلام بتاعي او الكتابة بتاعتي، الحاجة اللي انا بكتبها او الحاجة اللي انا بقولها، يعني اثناء البرودكشن، اثناء عمليه انتاج اللغه سواء في السبوكن فورم او في الريتن فورم. فانا مش محتاج، لو انا محتاج اعيد الناون تاني، فهنا بينفعني، او هنا دي الفايده بتاعت البروناونز، ان هي to stop the repetition of the nouns. اوكي. فعشان كده احنا ساعات بنقول على البروناونز، بنقول عليها في اللانجوج بليس هولدر، لان هي بتمسك مكان ايه الناون، يعني هي بتحل محل الناون وبتحل مكانه. اوكي. وده اللي احنا شفناه في الاكزامبلز اللي فاتت. بس تعالوا بصوا على الاكزامبل ده ونشوف استخدام البروناونز، وهل استخدام البروناونز ساعات مش لا ينصح به. So let's tackle the following. Let's study the following example, the following sentence, and see whether the use of pronouns is valid or not. Let's say the lady saw the children holding 5 packs of cigarettes, so she put them in the closet. Oh God, that is. What do you think about this one? The lady saw the children holding 5 packs of cigarettes, so she put them in the closet. What do you think about the use of pronoun here, the pronoun them? Which word does it refer to? Does it refer to children? Or does it refer to the 5 packs of cigarettes? Does it refer to children or the 5 packs of cigarettes? The 5 packs of cigarettes. Does it refer to the people, العاقل, children, ولا للأشياء اللي هم ال 5 packs of cigarettes? She put them in the closet. طبعا thinking emotionally فممكن تقول لا، يعني والله لو بتفكر بشكل عاطفي شويه او بشكل ساعات تلاقي راي الناس، في بعض الناس هتقول لك والله لا، اكيد يعني اكيد ان هي حطت الاطفال، اكيد انها حطت الباكس اوف سيجاريتس، خبتهم يعني عن الاطفال وحطتهم فين؟ في الكلازت او في الدولاب يعني. تمام. closet is the American word for wardrobe اللي هو الدولاب. in Britain they say wardrobe اللي هو الدولاب، لكن in the States they commonly use closet. فانت اكيد them دي ترجع لايه؟ لل 5 packs of cigarettes. لكن ممكن حد تاني يقول والله طب ليه لا يبقى هنا them مش المقصود بيها اللي هم الchildren، هي حطت الاطفال في الكلازت. ما هو them هنا هو مش محدده هل هي حطت الاطفال ولا حطت السيجاريتس. تمام. فممكن نلاقي الاراء هنا مختلفه، لان them هنا هو ما عندناش حاجه evidence ان هي تقصد الكونتكست هنا او الموقف هنا، مفيش evidence ان هي them راجعه لمين بالظبط. فهنا اتكون لي حاله من ايه؟
الأمبج، حالة من الأمبيجوتي أو الغموض، أو احتمالية كذا واحتمالية كذا. والله احتمال يبقى كذا، احتمال them to refer to كذا، و them ممكن may them the word them may refer to the 5 packs of cigarettes or it may refer to children. اوكي، يبقى هنا استخدام البروناون سبب حالة من الامبيجوتي. The use of the pronoun them caused or created a case of ambiguity اللي هي الغموض. اوكي، we are not certain. وفي الحالة دي بس if the use of pronoun creates a state or a case of ambiguity, then it's better not to use the pronoun. Do not use the pronoun. Okay, in this case repeat the noun that you mean. عيد الnoun اللي انت تقصده فعلا. Okay, so in this case it's better to say the lady saw the children holding 5 packs of cigarettes, so she put the cigarettes out, the 5 packs of cigarettes, or the children. She may be a sick one, she may be a sick lady, and she may so she put the children in the closet. Who knows, the lady may be sick and she's doing something bad, and she did something bad and she put the children in the closet, maybe. Okay, she may be sick. So the context here didn't help me, and at first the context didn't help me figure out more information about the lady. If the context gave me information about the lady, okay, and she's a good lady and she's mentally good, so I may forget anything about, or I may ignore the idea that them may refer to the children. Okay, but who knows? And in this case, we have with the use of the pronoun them, we're gonna have a case of ambiguity. And in this case, we have to get rid of pronoun and we repeat the noun that we mean. And in this case, I may mean, or we may mean that the children, she put the children in the closet. Okay, so, okay, the lady saw the children holding the 5 packs of cigarettes, so she put the children in the closet. That's okay, that's more definite, ده more specific, ده محدد. Or I can say the lady saw the children holding 5 packs of cigarettes, so she put the 5 packs of cigarettes, or she put the cigarettes in the closet. Okay, both of them will be correct according to the context you are speaking, or you are expressing, or you're speaking about. Okay, so that was a very important piece of advice about the use of pronouns. We should use pronouns without creating ambiguity. Okay, again guys, we should use pronouns without causing or without creating a case of ambiguity. If the use of pronouns creates a case of ambiguity, we should not use pronouns. Okay, at this moment you have to repeat the noun that you want to express, or the noun you actually or specifically mean. Okay, thank you so much. That was all about pronouns. Thank you so much.